Awful teens grew up to be nice adults. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? When my daughter was younger, she was sweet and caring and kind, and we worked hard to instill her with positive traits and gave her so many opportunities to learn and grow. Now, as a teenager, she is a massive, lazy, rude poophead. I hear all teenagers are. And while we still work hard to give her opportunities and resources and all sorts of support, it all seems pointless. She doesn't care or appreciate anything. Please share some stories about your now adult children and how this phase passes and how it will all be okay. If not, I might take a page out of Kiddo's book and run away from home myself. Eldest son lost his shit sometime around puberty. Flaming ADHD that he refused to treat led to school disaster, which led to wrong crowd, drugs and alcohol, 2 drug possession arrests, was expelled once in middle school, once in high school, went through several outpatient drug programs for teens, hated us and everything we said and did from age 13 on. We got him therapy, outpatient programs, found schools for him when his schools kicked him out, hated us, hated his younger brother, hated everything we did, appreciated nothing. Fast forward, he's 23, been sober 5 years, and works, ironically, as a counselor for troubled teens at a boarding school in Maine. Idolizes the counselor he had all through high school that we found for him and he fought so hard against, and is aiming for the same career path. It's funny too, because 2 of his really close, bad friends from teenage years are also many years sober. One is a successful plumber, the other works at a rehab while getting his computer science degree. I never thought we were going to come out the other side. We did. The opportunities, the resources, that support that he violently rejected turned out to have made a difference in the long run. It will for you too. Oh man, my son was a terrible teen. From about 11 to 16.5 years old, I swear he lost his mind. He was arrogant, defiant, and out of control. He would get so mad and destroy property. We know all of the local police. He would make false claims of abuse, prompting us to be on a first-name basis with our CPS caseworker. He went to war with students, teachers, principals, bus drivers, everyone. He's a really smart kid, but for a while I was sure he would end up homeless or in jail as an adult. But I loved him, and I knew he could follow a better path. I just didn't give up. I wanted to, many days, but we did years of individual and family therapy, tons of consequences and accountability, constant push and pull of cracking down on his out-of-control behavior, but still trying to maintain communication and show him he was loved. Well, around 16.5, he had his last freakout. He got some big consequences, and we basically sat down and said his time with us could be limited, that he would turn 18 soon, and it was his choice. He could get it together, and we would help him with college and support him through his education. Or he could continue to act out, and at 18, we would ask him to leave for the sake of peace in the house for the rest of the family. We emphasized we didn't want that, but that it was a possibility. Some combo of maturity, consequences, years of support, etc. finally clicked, and he's been better and better ever since. He's a college freshman now, studying computer science. He works and saves his money. He texts me several times a week to chat about his life, comes home often. He told me a few weeks ago that he's realizing that he needs to open up emotionally to other people, something I've been telling him years, and that putting up walls will prevent him from having meaningful relationships with others. Innovation! He's just a totally different kid now. He's really grown into a lovely young man. We're helping with college, books, and car. He can live with us rent-free through college and a period of time after to get some money in the bank. He's still a stoic kid who can be a little abrasive sometimes, but that's always been his personality. Given where we have been, I'm really super proud of how much he has grown. It was not easy, but I'm glad we stuck through it together and have the bond that we do. Thank you for this. I'm dealing with raising a 12-year-old boy. I'm 64. My daughter, his mom, died almost 3 years ago from a fentanyl overdose, but had been a drug addict and alcoholic for 15 years. She was raised with 3 other kids who had no real issues, but she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder after her first start with drugs, and it was a nightmare from there on. Her son is at a moody, I hate everything stage, and I'm trying so hard. I'm terrified he will go the way of his mother. I have him in counseling, and I fight every day to keep him going to school. At almost 13, he is already about 3 inches taller than me and outweighs me by a good 45-50 pounds. Your post gives me hope that we can both come through this. I just have to stay the course. I think there is something to be said for modeling behavior. I was very depressed as a teen and did nothing to help my parents. I somehow made the bare minimum of marks to get into university and then scraped by with that a few years before actually trying and pulling ahead. That being said, I saw the life my parents lived, strived to live. Now I'm an adult and I want the same. I'm fully self-sufficient and have a good job. So I think ultimately words of encouragement, but as always, you can't force people to change. It might all be okay in the end. I'm coming from the other side. I was a pretty difficult teen, especially in the earlier years. I started getting on better with my parents from about 16 onwards. They relaxed a little, I gained perspective, and we grew close again. I was particularly difficult because I was struggling with friends at school, and my mental health was bad, but I didn't know how to put all that into words. I don't know your daughter's situation, but it's worth keeping an eye out for stuff like that, especially if she seems angry for no reason. I have one cousin like this. She was a pretty normal baby or kid. Then she hit high school and went wild. Started with skipping school, escalated to running away from home to live with a boyfriend for a week or two, and then she'd be home again. She ended up dropping out of high school and jumping around from minimum wage job to minimum wage job for a few years. Her parents never fully kicked her out, although I know there were lots of discussions about it. And then, mid-20s, she found a job she actually liked, got her GED so that she could advance. She now has her own apartment and seemingly has her shit together, no longer dating men with face tattoos. She's also just easier to be around. I don't know, it's like between 15 and 25, her brain went why-hairy. I don't know how much it has to do with parenting. Her parents have 5 other kids who were much more typical teens and young adults.